Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the space community lately. And no, it's not another Mars rover update. This time, it's about a SpaceX rocket that, well, let's just say it had a rough landing on the moon. But here's the kicker. It wasn't supposed to land at all. Crashed. Hard. And what makes this really interesting is that it's not just a one-off incident. It's part of a bigger trend that's raising some serious questions about space debris and our future on the moon. So, let's start with the basics. A SpaceX rocket, which launched a pair of lunar landers back in January 2025, ended up going rogue. Personally, I think this is where things get fascinating. The rocket's upper stage, a 40-foot-long cylinder, was supposed to drift off into space after doing its job. But thanks to a combination of solar activity and gravity, it got pulled into a collision course with the moon. And here's the thing, this wasn't deliberate. SpaceX's Juliana Scheiman made it clear they're working with NASA to prevent this kind of thing in the future. But accidents happen, right? What this really suggests is that as we ramp up our activities in space, these kinds of mishaps might become more common. Now, let's talk about the crash itself. The rocket slammed into the moon at 5,400 miles per hour. That's insane. And while no one saw the actual impact, because, let's be real, who has a telescope powerful enough to catch that? Astronomers did spot a debris plume. Carl Schmidt from Boston University is 100% certain it was from this crash. What many people don't realize is that this debris plume wasn't just a little puff of dust. It was a stream of sodium and lithium stretching for miles into space. That's not just a crash. It's a mess. And it's not the first time this has happened. In 2022, a Chinese rocket also crashed into the moon. So, this isn't just a SpaceX problem, it's an industry problem. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. The moon is becoming the new hotspot for space exploration. NASA's Artemis program, SpaceX's Starship, Blue Origin's Blue Moon lander, everyone wants a piece of it. But with all this activity, the moon is starting to look like a junkyard. Stray rocket parts, crashed landers, and who knows what else. If you take a step back and think about it, this raises a deeper question. How do we balance exploration with preservation? The moon isn't just a scientific playground. It's a pristine environment that's been untouched for billions of years. And now we're littering it with our mistakes. One thing that immediately stands out is the lack of regulation. Right now, there's no international law governing space debris on the moon. It's like the Wild West up there. And as Jonathan McDowell pointed out, as things get busier near the moon, these kinds of impacts are going to become a bigger issue. Imagine a future where lunar bases are covered in dust from rocket crashes. That's not just unsightly, it's dangerous. Dust on the moon is no joke. It's abrasive, it sticks to everything, and it can damage equipment. So, what seems like a minor crash today could have major consequences down the line. From my perspective, this incident is a wake-up call. We're at a turning point in space exploration. The moon is no longer just a distant dream. It's a destination. And with that comes responsibility. Personally, I think we need to start treating the moon with the same care we'd give to a national park. We wouldn't leave trash all over Yellowstone, right? So why are we okay with doing it on the moon? This isn't just about cleaning up after ourselves. It's about respecting the environment we're exploring. What this really suggests is that we need a global conversation about space sustainability. How do we minimize debris? How do we ensure future missions don't end up as lunar litter? These are questions we can't ignore. And honestly, I'm excited to see how the space community responds. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that challenges like these often lead to innovation. Maybe this is the push we need to develop better technology, better regulations, and a better mindset for exploring space. So here's my closing thought. As we reach for the stars, let's not forget to look down at the ground we're standing on, or in this case, the moon we're landing on. The future of space exploration isn't just about where we go. It's about how we get there. And if we're not careful, we might end up leaving a trail of destruction in our wake. What do you think? Is lunar litter something we should be worried about? Or is it just a small price to pay for progress? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, keep looking up, but maybe also keep an eye on what we're leaving behind.